Welcome to day 10 of how to lose 20 pounds in 4 months. Today we're going to talk about self-esteem. That's with whatever you have. So as most of you might know, I have multiple sclerosis, which is a disease that attacks your nervous system. Now, I know many people with MS have very low self-esteem and very low self-confidence because they blame themselves for the disease, or they think they're the way they are because of the disease. It's almost the same thing as when you're losing weight. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying when you're trying to lose weight, it's really hard and you get down on yourself. So this is the important stuff when you're doing this, is you need to understand that it's going to be hard. You're going to have your ups and downs. We'll use the example as when I was 250, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I ate whatever I wanted, I did whatever I wanted. It wasn't until I started getting sick and started going to the hospital and things started shutting down and I started saying, is this my fault? And then when I realized it wasn't my fault when they told me I had this disease, then I wanted to know, is this disease my fault? Did I make myself sick? Was my lifting too much? Was my shitty food the reason I'm sick? All these things I tried to blame myself for. I said, this is my fault. It was the same thing when I was 250. I said, oh, I have all this weight because it's me. It's me. You always think it's you. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's life. Sometimes shit just happens. And that's what you have to understand. Is when you can look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of who you are or what you will become, that's when your life will get better. That's when your diet will get better. That's when your fitness will get better. That's when your health will, quote unquote, get better. Obviously, if you're sick, you're sick. There's sometimes nothing you can do about that. So this is what we need to focus on. If we're going to lose this 20 pounds in this 4 months, you need to have self-confidence that you can do this, regardless of how out of shape you are or in shape you are. Because some people that are in great shape say, oh, I can slack here, I can slack here, and that's how you end up getting out of shape. And if you are, I don't care how out of shape you are, if you're super obese, if you're only a little bit obese, if you're just in the middle, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, one day I'm going to be what I want to be, but I got to be proud of who I am now. That's the key to all of this. If you have a disease, you need to look the disease in the face and say, you will not win. You will fight that disease until you die. I'm like, that's the important thing. I was just like, you're going to have your disease forever. I'm going to have MS forever. There's nothing you can do about that. But if you sit in your house crying, wishing it wasn't you, you're only going to get worse. It's going to suck, but it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get harder to get up every morning. It's only going to get harder to eat. It's only going to get harder to breathe. You need to look at yourself and look at all your flaws. Trust me, I have this giant ass nose, these big ears. I was like, my head's misshapen. Those are body issues I have with myself. I was like, one of my calves, super small compared to the other one. My abs, super unsymmetrical. Like, what kind of abs are these? Like, there's a fucking crooked ab here. This one doesn't even come in. I was like, I got all this pudge right here. I got these love handles. These are things that I have, but I'm okay with. I'm working on them. I'm like, I wish I had bigger arms like everyone else. I wish I was a 700-pound deadlifter or a 600-pound squatter. I wish I was world champ. I don't know. The point is, I wish all these things. But it's the fact that I live in the moment. So every time I go to the gym, or every time I start a diet, or every time I try to help someone, the main focus is live in that moment. Every workout you're going to do, every day you're going to live in that moment. You can see the future, but if you stress over something you can't even control at the moment, you're going to end up failing. I was like, sure, let's say you're trying to get your master's degree. You have to focus on each class. You can see the bigger picture at the end is getting that degree, but if you don't focus on the classes in front of you and you keep daydreaming, you might fail those classes. It's the same thing with it. If you don't focus on the fact that, hey, maybe one day I'll lose 50 pounds or 30 or whatever you're trying to lose, you can have that big picture, but you need to do baby steps. Hey, I lost a pound this week, or I lost 2 pounds, or hey, I lost 4 pounds, or hey, I ate a bunch of healthy food this week, or hey, I made all my calorie quota this week. I did it. That's how you end up losing weight in the long run. 2 months ago, I dropped out of my competition, and I just started eating whatever I wanted again. I shot back up to almost 205. Last week, when I showed you I was 203, I just started eating healthy again, but I kept training like I normally train. And what happened? I lost 8 pounds. 8 pounds in a week. That's because my body knew what it didn't want in its system, so it started negotiating, fixing things. And I'm like, yeah, sure, some of that is from me waking up, you're a little dehydrated, all that. But the fact that I could lose 8 pounds in a week isn't like I had a bunch of fat on me to lose. It was just my body got rid of a bunch of junk I didn't need. But I knew I had the confidence to go back to 181. And that's what I want to show you guys. It's just confidence. You can do this. It's just like eventually you get to a point where it's going to be harder and harder, but that's how you keep the weight off. It's the fun of understanding you can do it over and over and over again. But it's just like, you'd be surprised how many people's lives you can change as you start losing weight. Sometimes you incorporate family members. Sometimes you incorporate children, siblings, whatever. But regardless of what you have, body image, self-esteem, anything, you need to be proud of who you are. You need to understand that this is your life. You need to control it the best you can. Don't be scared of anything and go out and do your best. I'll see you tomorrow, day 11, and I hope you all get out and you do your best.